Alright, Pokemon players. We have the Kevin Baxter versus Andrew Mahone matchup for Ohio State's top 8. We're going to get started here. Andrew started with a battle compressor. He's going to go ahead and get rid of at least 2 Lampins so far. Alright guys, we see Andrew doing a quick deck search here. He looks like he has gotten... he's going to get rid of the 3 Lampin. He must have something in his hand that he, at least a supporter-wise, that he's going to play. He already had attached a double colorless to his Joltik. We see Kevin starting with 2 Zoruas. Andrew's going to go ahead and play down his Dimension Valley. He's going to go ahead and Sycamore. He had to get rid of a lot of resources, but he's going to keep moving forward from that. We see he's going to go ahead and draw 7. He's looking at his hand, trying to decide his next move. If there was any game that was going to be the toughest, it is definitely this one. Both players want to advance on it. They are both very good players. We see him trying to decide what he wants to discard to Ultra Ball here. He's trying to figure out how many cards he'll have left and what he'll be able to do after the fact. Actually, it looks like he's going to pass. So he's going to hold on to that Ultra Ball and the Shaman for next turn to see what Kevin's going to do. Kevin's going to start his turn with a Trainer's Mail. He's going to take an Ultra Ball here. He had an option, it looked like, to get a Battle Compressor. So he must have... Oh, he actually... His hand is really bad. He has not... His hand is just filled of cards that he just does not want to see right now. He does have at least... He's got a target whistle here that he's contemplating whether he wants to get rid of it. It has no use for him right this second, but he's going to go ahead and get rid of that. But he has DCE, the Stadium, and a Zorark in his hand. He is going in for a Shaman here. He's going to do a quick deck search, but he doesn't have a supporter. And he's going to only get to Shaman right here for 3. He will probably play his Stadium down, so it's going to be 4 at least, but he's going to do that deck search. He wants to see what's prized. We see Andrew's hand is... Andrew's in a very good position for next turn. He has a lot of options. So as long as Kevin doesn't get rid of his hand, he's in a really good position. And it's just so unfortunate for Kevin. He's going to go ahead and place that Stadium, giving himself extra 10 damage for Dark Pokemon. And then he's going to be able to set up for 4. We see Kevin got 2, 3 Battle Compressors off of that. Oh, that's so unfortunate for him. He's not even going to get to play a supporter this turn. We see he's going to go ahead and get rid of some of the cards that he's going to hope he's going to draw into for those Battle Compressors. He's looking to get the VS Seeker, but he is actually in a really bad position. He is practically... Right now, he's currently checking his odds. He's trying to decide. He has the 2 other Battle Compressors to play as well. So he's looking to get rid of more stuff. He's going to go ahead and get rid of those two with that battle compressor. He's going to battle compressor again for 2 more and play his 3rd battle compressor for the last 2. He's going to go ahead and shuffle up. He is in a really tough spot right now, though. We apologize for the glare today. We had moved where the setup was, and the lighting is just really bad in that area. So we see that Kevin is going to attach that dark energy and be able to Moonless Madness and confuse Andrew Stoltek. Just a big deal. This could stop Andrew from attacking this turn. Andrew doesn't want to retreat his Joltik and lose that double colorless. So unless Andrew gets a way to switch out, he does have a fight for that. We see Andrew's going to go ahead and Ultra Ball here. He's going to discard the teammates and a target whistle himself. He's searching through his deck. He's going to go ahead and get another Joltik. He's going to do one quick deck search. He's checking to see how many retreatable cards he has in his deck. I did see the one floatstone in there. I'm not sure if he had, I believe he plays a escape rope. I'm not sure if he has it in there or not, but I did at least see one floatstone. So he's going to look to play the floatstone. Andrew's going to go ahead and look at his discard pile. He's going to be playing his Shaman for setup. It looks like he's going to set up for 3. It's kind of blending. He is actually going to play his Puzzle of Time early. He wants to be able to... Oh, and you see the escape rope. This is so good for Andrew. He's at least going to be able to attack. Though you didn't see him have the DC to play on someone different. But he does have a supporter play for the turn still, so he has a lot of options to go for here. He's going to go ahead and set up for 4. And I just looked, he got to set up for 5. Looks like he chose to Lysander ahead of time to bring out the Shaman. He knows that he was going to be able to get the he knew he was going to be able to get that escape rope, and he wants to take out one of those Zeruas early on. Little does Andrew know, Kevin is on top deck mode at this point. Kevin has to draw into a VS Seeker, a supporter, an Ultra Ball. He has a lot of options, but if he doesn't draw into anything that helps him continue on, he's going to probably have to scoop this match. He's going to be too far behind for how quick Night March is, and the prize card exchange with Andrew being able to get those Shaman EXs very easy. You might even see, I feel like Andrew's not going to chance the attack being confused, the Night March confused attack. I'm sorry. I feel like he's going to play the escape rope and still attack this turn, but he wanted to be able to. He is going to go for it. Oh, and he caught tails. I'm not too sure why he didn't end up escape roping there, but he did try to risk it. Oh, and you see. Oh, man. Kevin did actually have He got the prize card, which would have been either the trainer's mail or the judge, and he did also draw one or the other. I didn't get a chance to see which he had done, but Kevin is now right back in this. He's going to go ahead and look to decide what he wants to trainer's mail for. He's going to go ahead and take. He's contemplating whether he wants to take. He's going to take the floatstone. He has the judge in his hand, so he wants to be able to attach the floatstone. Evolve into the Zorark and attach the TCG and go ahead and judge for fresh 4-card hand. He wanted to get a chance to use all of his resources. We see them both shuffling up for the judge. How insane that one prize card and his top deck really put Kevin right back into this game. If he had drawn anything that wasn't going to help him, he was going to be in a really tough situation. See, Andrew's going to start his turn. We see Andrew's going to go ahead and attach the Fighting Fury belt to the Joltik. I didn't get to see what was else left in Kevin's hand after that judge. We did see he did play down a Fright Night Yveltal. Andrew's going to be a seeker for the teammates. He's going to play the teammates here. Get to choose any 2 cards. I'm not sure how many Night Marchers he has in his discard pile at this point. He's looking to take 2 Puzzle of Time with that teammates to get to take any 2 cards that he wants. He's going to go ahead and Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball for Shaman. I believe that he has the 2 Puzzle of Time in his hand, so he's going to go ahead and... Oh, he decided to take the double colorless and the catcher, and he is going to get that catcher heads for that Shaman EX. And then get set up for 6 fresh ones. He's going to go ahead and play the Dimension Valley. He has another Pumpkaboo here for him. And he's going to be able to Night March for the knockout on that Shaman. Again, I still don't know how many Night Marches he has in there. We at least know he has the 3 Lampent that he had placed in earlier. Hey, bud. We see Kevin's going to start off with the Trainer's Mail. He has the option to take the Lysander. Again, I'm not too sure what's in his hand. I see a Dark Energy. Shaman. Looks like he then has two other trainer cards. I'm not too sure what they are. trying to decide whether he wants to take that Lysander or not. He is going to opt not to take the Lysander at this point. He has Shaman to be able to set up, but at this point, I think Kevin is not going to want to put that Shaman down on his bench. He does not want to give Andrew the opportunity to take easy EX prize cards. And Kevin's going to check here to see what all Andrew has. If he double checks through, we'll be able to see how many Night Marchers. He has 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 Night Marchers in there. Kevin is going to go ahead and he's going to go ahead and sycamore that Shaman. He does not want to put that on his bench. It looks like Kevin drew into see a whole bunch of supporters, but I don't know. He did get a Zorak, and he does have an Ultra Ball in his hand. So he does have 2. Actually, it's not an Ultra Ball. It's a Muscle Band. But he does have 2 Zoraks ready to take these knockouts. And he does have a Lysander as well. He's going to go ahead and knock out that Joltik. With the Zorak. Andrew's going to attach a Floodstone to his Shaman EX. Trainer's Mail. Andrew's in a tough spot here. He's going to be trading 1 for 1 in prize cards in this turn. Andrew's going to have 3 left. Kevin is going to be able to take the knockout on the Pumpkaboo and only have 2 prize cards left. And there will be an easy opportunity to knock out a Shaman EX for Kevin's last 2. So Andrew is not in a good prize exchange right now. How quickly this game turned around. It looked like Kevin was done for early on. He had a lot of options to be able to draw into, but see, Andrew's going to go ahead and set up. He has no reason not to put the Shamans down. See, Andrew does have a town map, though, so he's going to be able to choose what prizes he wants from now on. He's going to attach the DCE. And he had 6 Night Marchers in before, so he's going to be able to get the knockout. We see he's going to be a Seeker. I believe he's going to be a Seeker for a Judge, and he's going to play it. So they're both going to draw 4. Kevin, he has a Target Whistle and a Lysander as 2 trainers, and we see that Andrew's going to be able to take whatever he wants for his prize cards here. So he's trying to decide. Andrew does have a very nice hand. He's trying to see. He only has, it looked like 6 cards left. So he's going to go ahead and take that Trainer's Mail. He is not able to Sycamore here. I think he's checking to see how many VS Seekers he has used. I saw 3 at least. He's got to show us here. He's got 8 Night Marchers in the discard pile. Andrew does have the DC in his hand, though. Kevin is able to go in. He's going to search out here. He's going to go in and get a Yveltal. What Kevin's going to be able to do right now is go ahead and Lysander up the Shaman EX. He's going to take the one with the Floatstone and have the ability to KO a Pumpkaboo if Andrew attacks on the Pumpkaboo this turn. Andrew is actually at a loss here. There's the only way I don't believe that there is a way here for Andrew to win this match. Again, he was behind in the prize card exchange. Unless he sees something I don't. He has the 2 puzzle time. For the Pumpkaboo? Because Kevin still has 2 cards in his hand, so I guess that's his only option. He could try to survive a turn with that. He's going to have to take that Fighting Fury belt. And now this is his thing where he has to take whatever he's going to need for next turn. He's still not going to be able to have the prize card exchange. He's going to be taking 1. He'll still have 2 left, and that'll give enough turns. So he's actually not going to be able to take the knockout on the Joltik, even with a muscle band. He went ahead and hit much. You see Kevin's going to go ahead, and Kevin's in a position that he can Ultra Ball for a Shaman right now. If he has the Shaman left, he can Ultra Ball for it. It seems like maybe he doesn't. Even if he did Ultra Ball for a Shaman, if he didn't hit a VS Seeker, he wouldn't be able to get the knockout. So that's insane that Andrew might actually come back and win this game right here. Simply because Kevin did not. He didn't have the Shaman left to get right there. That's insane that he went through all of his Shamans. He's going to go ahead and Oblivion Wing for the 30, but he has no cards in his hand. He is at top deck mode again in this game. If Kevin draws out of this again, it is going to be the most insane. Wow. Oh, that is insane. Kevin Tom decked the Sycamore to go in and get the muscle band. That is insane. And that's how quick the match turns. Oh my. It looked like Kevin was out of that. It was twice that he was just not. Oh, I can't believe he talked to that Sycamore. I don't know how many ads he had. I didn't check when he did a deck search to look when he didn't have the Shaman. I didn't check to see like how many outs he had, but I'm still impressed. Very good game by both players. It was a tough fight. It looked like Andrew was going to be able to pull that off, being behind in that prize card situation. So we'll be right back with their second game. All right, guys, they're shuffling up. That was so close. Andrew almost had the opportunity to come back there. Jimmy had told me that the two cards that Andrew had taken with his puzzle of time was the Fighting Fury Belt and the Target Whistle. Apparently, Andrew had one via Seeker to draw left to be able to get the Lysander for the win. He did not get it, and it just so happened that Kevin was able to get that Sycamore. So they're going to go ahead and shuffle up here. Both have very high chances to win games. As we see, there's still 47 minutes left. They're definitely going to get through a game two here. So it is going to come down to, if Kevin does not win game two, a very close game three. We see they're going to go ahead and draw their hands. Now, at the start of this game, of last game, Kevin had mulliganed, I believe, 3 times, 2 or 3 times. I'm not 100% on that, but I know that he definitely gave some free cards to Andrew. We see Kevin's going to go start with that Fright Knight Yveltal and put the Zuru on his bench, as Andrew is starting with his Pumpkaboo. See, Andrew's going to start off. Looks like he's going to start with an Ultra Ball. He has 2 Lampets in his hand. It's also the Shaman, the Double Colorless, and the Catcher. So he has a very decent hand right now for his next turn to start attacking right off the bat. Actually, it looks like he's that escape rope again. I can't tell if that's an escape rope or if it is the target whistle. Or he must have last game when he had chanced the confusion flip. It must have been a target whistle that he had gotten off the top 3 cards with the puzzle of time, and not an escape rope. It looks very similar. That would make more sense. There's no reason that he wouldn't have escape roped. So he was hoping to have drawn into that, into his floatstone last game. So I apologize for that, because I'm not 100%. It looks a lot like like an escape rope, but at the same time, it looks like a target whistle. Nope, that is an escape rope. So I'm thinking that he did have an escape rope early on, but it could have still also been a target whistle. They look very similar. He's contemplating whether he wants to attach the DCE or not this turn onto the Pumpkaboo. going to attach the DCE to the Joltik. And he looks like he's going to go ahead and just set up for 5. Sorry about that, guys. We see Andrew's going to go ahead and set up for 5, and he did get a trainer's mail as well off of that. We see Andrew's going to go ahead and take the teammates. He's contemplating not taking the teammates. He's going to take it. He had quite a few options there to choose from, but he's looking to try to get more Night Marchers in the discard pile at this point. He actually had gotten the second trainer's mail. He's going to take that town map and be able to see his prize cards. This is going to give him a good advantage to be able to pick exactly what he needs to be able to try to win this game out. We see he has a double colors prized. Some nice prize cards there. This is actually really good for him. A lot of the times when you do that first deck search and you find out what is in your prizes, it gives you a good idea of what you want to play to take knockouts, because you have a 1 in 6 chance of getting those cards that you know are in your prizes. So it's a very interesting concept. So him being able to choose those cards adds just even more of a benefit from that. So he's going to go ahead and play his third trainer mail here. He's going to contemplate whether he wants to take that judge or not. He still hasn't gotten a single battle compressor, though. Maybe he's definitely having an explosive turn. He's going to take the judge. This is definitely going to be a good matchup. He's going to play the single puzzle at a time. He's going to go ahead and he's got supporters, so he was just playing the puzzle of time to be able to determine what he wanted to draw off of that puzzle of time. Those top 3 cards to choose. We see that Andrew ended his turn, and Kevin's going to go ahead and start with that battle compressor. He's going to get rid of Galeta Maxis. He must have the Maxis in his hand. He's going to go ahead and get rid of the Ace Trainer, or both Maxis could be present. I didn't get a chance to see what he had in his hand. He does have the Maxis. It looked like there was one in his hand. It looked like a full art Maxis, but I'm not too sure. It could have been a Lysander, but I don't think that Kevin wouldn't have. He would definitely would have still gotten rid of a Glade. The whole conversation of whether or not Kevin takes prizes, if he did get into a prize situation where he has the odds, if he has 2 Maxis prize, he has a 2 out of 6 chance of getting the Maxis. So if his hand is low enough and he takes prizes, he'll be able to have that opportunity. See, Kevin does have a double colorless in his hand. It looks like he does have a dark too, so he's trying to decide where he wants to play it. He's got a Lysander and a Floatstone. Kevin is again in a very tough situation. I'm not sure what Andrew had gotten off of that judge or not, but he's going to attach the double colorless to the Evil Tall and pass. Andrew has plenty of cards to play. I see he has his 4th Trainer's Mail. He does have a Stadium there as well. He's going to go ahead and choose the Sycamore. And I believe I also saw an Ultra Ball in his hand. And the DCE, so he's also got the battle compressors that he was looking for, so he's just going to go ahead and start discarding those Night Marchers to start being able to hit for the high damage. With discarding those 3, that would be, he, I believe, has 5 in his discard pile, so he's going to be able to do 100 damage this turn. He's going to attach a DC and go ahead and Sycamore. Oh, and that looked like a very rough hand. It looked like it was just filled of VS Seekers and supporters. He got another DC, but he didn't get the Stadium or away. He has a Shaman in his hand. But I think that he's not going to be able to get rid of the cards in his hand to be able to set up at all. So he is actually more than likely going to discard that DCE to retreat. He's looking, he could set up for 1. He's contemplating it. He's going to go ahead and do it. He's going to set up for the 1. And he got a battle compressor. So he's going to be able to put more Night Marchers in. He's going to need to because he currently only has 5. So for the Joltik to take the knockout here, he's not going to need to put any more in, but to continue to take knockouts with the Pumpkaboo, he's going to want to have more Night Marchers in his discard pile. And he also wants to be able to thin out the cards that he doesn't want to draw into. And the thing that Andrew doesn't know, again, Kevin, I believe, is in top deck mode. Again, he had the Floatstone, a Dark Energy. I can't remember exactly what his last card was. Oh, the Lysander. So he definitely, if his Fright Knight Evil Tall is going to get knocked out this turn, which it is, I mean, he is going to retreat and go ahead and attack with the Joltik. Kevin he's looking to buy time. He's looking to Lysander up and take prize cards slowly later on. But all right, so we're going to see here. Andrew's going to make the decision on what he wants to take. He had plenty of supporters in his hand, so he's thinking about it. Is he taking 2? He's only taking 1. He's changing that. He thought he was going to take 2, but he's only getting 1. Oh, and you see Kevin draw into a DC. One thing, though, is that Kevin can attach the Dark Energy and Lysander up a Shaman and put it to confused, and that is currently that is his option. Oh, he's actually going to choose the Pumpkaboo. So, and Andrew's going to go ahead and just show that he has the DC. And Andrew took game 2. They have they're going to have, after shuffling, about 31 minutes left to complete a game 3. And both of these decks, I believe that they will be able to. I think that there's going to be plenty of opportunity here. Kevin was just unlucky this morning as far as his hands, and then he's drawn into it a couple of times here that he's been able to draw something to get out of his poor hands. But we see that this last time he was not able to. So we will be right back with a third game. All right, they're going to go ahead and start drawing their 7-card hands. Looks like Andrew did not get a basic, so he's going to go ahead and wait until Kevin commits to a basic 4. He's going to show that he does not have one. See that he did not have a basic. Kevin looked like he started with a Evil Tall. We're going to see Andrew go ahead and shuffle back up. See Kevin's hand. He has a lot of good cards in his hand, but it doesn't look like he had a supporter. But he did have a Shaman, so he definitely has ways to get 2 supporters. He also is going to get a free card from the mulligan that Andrew had, so. And Andrew again, no basics. So that's going to give 2 free cards to Kevin. And as the non-winner, Kevin is more than likely going to choose to go first. He might have chosen to go second just for the simple fact that he wants to. Kevin wants to be able to attack on his first turn, while Andrew wants to be able to attack on his first turn as well. Considering that Kevin has no way to stop Andrew from playing his items to continue on, I feel like Kevin might opt to go second here. It's a tough call. Kevin has evolves. He might not want to. I'm going to go on the assumption that Kevin chose to go first, just because of the simple fact that he didn't play the Zorua on the bench. It's a very tough decision whether or not in this matchup to go first or second. There are both pros and cons to both options. Also, nobody wants to be able to not get a turn and be judged into a bunch of cards they don't want to see early on. So again, that's 5 free cards. Yeah, this hurts and helps Kevin. Kevin's going to have a lot of cards to be able to go through, but he's also going to have a lot of cards in his hand to not be able to get the turn 1 Gallade. Not necessarily a good or bad thing again. And again, that's 6 free cards. At what point do we get the Judge Ball? Judge Ball on stream. We'll see here. Alright, we see Kevin's going to go ahead and take all 6 of his mulligans. He's going to start with the Trainer's Mail. He's going to Trainer's Mail into the Battle Compressor, and now he's going to decide what he wants to discard with that. Alright, we see Kevin's going to go ahead and attach a DCE to his bench Zero with a Muscle Band. He's going to be a Seeker and go ahead and judge. We see both players have a good amount of time to get through a full game. Kevin does have a okay setup at this point. He has a lot of cards in his discard pile. I don't believe I had yet to see him get rid of a Maxis. So it really makes me wonder, are both of his Maxis prized? Based off of Andrew's response there, I'm not sure what he drew into. Actually, he seems like he very quickly went for that battle compressor, so I'm gonna just assume that his hand is okay. He's gonna get rid of 2, probably 3 Lampens here. He's gonna continue, like I said, to do a deck search. He's looking to see what is prized. He did show me his hand. I saw he had a DCE and a Lysander, but I'm not sure what his other 2 cards were. Scott does have a Sycamore in his hand, I'm pretty sure. It looks like the white lab coat on a Sycamore, if I'm able to see it correctly. He has lots of options here. He's just trying to make sure he can draw into the things that he needs. Alright, he does have it. He has the DC in his hand. I'm not too sure what he's trying to decide here. He has the DC. It's definitely a or a Sycamore. I guess he's contemplating on Lysandering. He has options to be able to Lysander and take a prize card on something else this turn with the 3 Lampens. He's going to be able to do 60, so he could actually, he's contemplating whether he wants to Lysander that Zorua and take a knockout on it. He is going to go with that, so he does have the Sycamore for next turn as well, so he's just going to go ahead and Lysander it up and take the prize card. Both players are unsure of how much time is left. So Andrew could also be playing this match of not being able to finish the game, and that being ahead in prize cards is important. Taking those prize cards is important, which isn't a bad way to play it. It was also not a bad decision to just go ahead and take that knockout on the Zorua. The Zorua was a pretty good threat and able to get rid of a DCE out of Kevin's deck, Kevin's field, and the muscle band. So it wasn't a bad play at all. And you see that Kevin did have the Zorark in his hand as well, so that was definitely a really good decision on Andrew's point. I believe that's a Zorua. Kevin attached the Dark Energy to the Yveltal and was able to go ahead and take the knockout on that. Joltik, he's going to just go ahead and attach the energy right to the bench Yveltal. We see Andrew's going to just start his turn off with that Sycamore. It looks like his prize card, not 100% sure. Yeah, I know he drew the puzzle of time off the top of his deck, so it looked like there was 2 Hex Maniacs, but I'm not too sure exactly what those 2 cards were. One was for sure at least a Hex Maniac. I'm not sure on the other, but we see Andrew's going to go ahead and escape rope here. I'm not sure what move he's thinking. He could easily just send, yeah, he could just send back up the other Yveltal. I'm not too sure why that was a issue of what he wanted to do. I guess he could have considered saving the Yveltals and being able to just get rid of another Zorua, but See the trainer mail's choice here. Andrew has a lot of options. His hand is he's got a Sycamore and two Shamans in his hand. He's got the stadium already, and he has like I said, the Sycamore, so he doesn't necessarily want the VS Seeker unless he wants to use it to be able to get that Lysander back. So he's contemplating whether he wants to take the Puzzle of Time. He's going to decide to take it. It's about just a little over the 19 minutes left in this game. There's a lot of options. I'm just going to go ahead and Puzzle of Time. He's going to be drawing all three of those cards. So essentially taking the Puzzle of Time was kind of a waste at this point. He could have figured out that he wasn't going to be able to use it for any benefit this turn. But it's not bad to have in the discard pile. If you Puzzle Time for 2 cards, you can get that Puzzle Time back for another Puzzle Time later, and one option that you need. So it's not the awfulest thing. See, Andrew's going to go ahead and Ultra Ball. He's going to go ahead and get another Joltik. We're going to see that second setup. I believe for 5 this time. And he did get those 5. He's got the catcher in his hand, so he's going to look to play it to take the knockout that he wants. I'm not sure on how many Night Marchers he has in this discard pile. He did get rid of 3 Lampent early on, and then he did get a knockout on a Joltik. So I do know that there's at least 4. I did just check, and I wasn't paying attention to see how many he had in there. See, there's the catcher. Tails. So it looks like he's just going to go ahead and Night March for the knockout there. Kevin has a lot of different options right now he can do. He's not going to be able to... Okay, he's going to go ahead and Lysander out the Shaman. He's going to start taking those prize cards. He's going to stand in. And he's just going to go ahead and take the knockout. See, I'm just going to go ahead and promote the Pumpkaboo. He has the Floatstone to attach to him to get free retreat. See, there's 4. There's now 5 Night Marchers into his discard pile. So that is enough for the knockout. He just has to be able to get into that DCE. And I believe he had one in his hand, but it could have been the past turn. It looks like he does not have one this time. He has an Ultra Ball he's going to play here. That is a 6th Night Marcher. He got rid of a Pumpkaboo. He's going to take a Shaman EX to be able to draw into... Gonna go ahead and set up 4-4, I believe. He did get the DC there. And he now, I believe, has, like I said, 6 Night Marchers. Unless he just Sycamore, or unless he did play the second Shaman, so he should still have only 6 Night Marchers in there. Andrew's going to go ahead and play the judge. Both players are going to shuffle their hands in. This could be very interesting. Andrew's going to take the knockout this turn. With the 6th Night Marcher, he's going to do the perfect amount of damage. I believe as long as he has 6. If he still only has 5 in there, and he's going to be able to Battle Compressor right here to put more in, I believe. So looks actually like he only has 1 Pumpkaboo left. And he's not even going to look to discard it. He is going to get rid of it, so I believe that should be his 7th Night Marcher. He's going to go ahead and retreat and take the knockout. I believe we for sure at least knew he had 5 and he had just put 1 in, so that's going to be 6. So that's going to be the 120 damage regardless with that Joltik. So no matter what, I definitely feel like he had enough to be able to take that knockout. I'm not sure if it was Sycamore that Kevin took off of the top with that trainer's mail. He has his Zorak and the Fright Knight Yveltal with the Stadium. Just gonna go ahead and Sycamore. He's gonna play a Battle Quester. I'm not sure if Kevin plays a Starly Megaphone or not. We're gonna be able to see here if he does. Unless it's prized, I do not believe that he does. We see he has 1 VS Seeker left in his deck. He has a ton of energy. Kevin's gonna go ahead and get rid of. So he's gonna get rid of 2 dark energy here. He's considering that second one, whether he wants to get rid of it or not. Again, guys, these are top 2 Ohio players playing it off right here for this top 4 spot at the state's tournament. Andrew was runner-up last year, and he wants to be able to redeem himself right here. You see Kevin is going to go ahead and get rid of that second dark. Kevin is going to go ahead and target whistle that Shaman back onto Andrew's bench. Just going to give him more options. He's going to do exactly that. He's going to go ahead and Oblivion Wing, putting 30 damage on that Joltik. That Joltik takes the knockout on the Yveltal, and Kevin's going to promote that Fright Knight, which will get a knockout on the Joltik because it'll turn off the Fighting Fury Belt. He actually did 40 damage with the Stadium of being able to do 10 more damage with his Dark Pokemon. So you need to go ahead and fix that. Doesn't really make a difference, but in this matchup, whether or not he had the 30 damage on him or 40, but it still matters. He did do 10 more damage. We're going to have Jimmy walk out there and correct that at least. Let me see. Andrew's checking his discard pile. I'm not sure if Andrew has. There we go. We got the corrected damage there. Again, it didn't really make a difference one way or the other. Looks like, is Andrew going to look into Puzzle of Timing this turn? He brought the escape rope to the top of his discard pile, contemplating whether or not he wants to be able to switch that out. Even if Andrew does use the escape rope, I feel like Kevin's still going to promote Fright Night Yveltal, so he's going to still get that knockout regardless. So this is definitely putting Andrew in a very tough spot. We see Andrew again is at the prize disadvantage. Andrew could get his target whistle, putting the EX again. Kevin has Shaman EX, I believe, in his discard pile. I'm not 100% sure on that, but alright, we see Kevin's going to go ahead and promote. He's going to take the knockout on the Joltik. So I wonder if... Oh, he needs to promote first. Oh, Kevin has the game. He says it doesn't matter. He has the Lysander to Lysander up a Shaman for the game. So there it is. We see Kevin Maxter had the game. I don't know if Andrew just didn't see that he was going to bring out the Fright Night, or he didn't have a response to it. Regardless, I feel like unless Andrew had gotten rid of Kevin's hand, which I'm sure Andrew had played a supporter there, I can't remember exactly, but that's going to be it for this. We see Kevin Maxter advancing onto the top 4. Congratulations, Andrew Mahone. He did get into the top 8 for today. I'm not 100% sure on what his placement will be, but both players had worked very hard yesterday to get to where they are, so we will see Kevin continue on to top 4. Andrew, best of luck to you. He already has his invite with steamrolling with Night March this year, so he's still happy. He would have loved to see him advance on to have the opportunity to take this tournament this year, but best of luck to both players in the futures, and we will be right back with top 4.